Hello everyone, this is Linda Binns and I'm back with another episode of Empowered Sensitivity, where we are continuing to explore what it means to be a highly sensitive person. And I've been working with energy for over 26 years, in particular working with highly sensitive people. So it's something I'm very familiar with, also being highly sensitive myself. So we're going to talk about the challenge of emotions and why they're so much more intense for those of us who are highly sensitive, because our brains and nervous systems are wired differently. For many highly sensitive people, I would say this is one of the biggest challenges. If you think of any emotion that you feel, whether it's a positive emotion, joy, happiness, or whether it's a negative emotion like anger, fear, sadness, think of any emotion that you feel and just know that those people who are highly sensitive feel those emotions much more intensely than anybody else. And this is why I think some people, I've often heard some highly sensitive people say, can I just switch this sensitivity off? It can feel very overwhelming at times, leading into overstimulation, which is what I talked about last week. And I think it's also why often people tell HSPs that they're overreacting. I've certainly heard that a lot in my life, been told that what I'm feeling is wrong or that I shouldn't be feeling it, that I'm just overreacting, really. I also think that since HSPs often have higher levels of empathy, that's one of the reasons why they feel emotions a lot more intensely. And it might not just be your own emotions that you're feeling, but it's easy, especially the more empathic you are, to pick up on and sometimes even take on the emotions of other people too. And one thing I've noticed, again, used to be true for me, but HSPs often, I think, neglect their own self-care in order to help others or for fear of hurting others. And when you know what that pain feels like, that hurt, that pain feels like, you certainly don't want to be the cause of that for somebody else. And it's not just the painful emotions, of course. We can be profoundly moved with the beauty of nature, for example, by art, by music. And I would describe it, this intensity, it's like you're feeling it with your entire body. And of course, there may be one part of the body where you feel it a lot more intensely. Could be your heart area, your abdominal area, head, shoulders, could be one part of the body. But I think we feel things with our entire body. And so it's a case of, to manage this, it's a case of learning how to regulate these intense emotions. And it takes skill and it takes practice. And if you add into the mix of this the shame that can come from being told that you are overreacting, if someone tells you that you are overreacting, I would say don't listen to that, because you feel what you feel. Somebody telling you that what you're feeling is wrong, it just isn't helpful. You can't switch off what you're feeling. The important thing, I think, is how it is affecting you. knowing what tools work for you to be able to regulate and control these emotions is key, as well as having the support that you need. Someone telling you you're overreacting is just not helpful. There's nothing you can do with that. It adds guilt and it adds shame into the mix. I had a discussion with a client recently who's made tremendous progress in her life, and she just had a very major change, a very major life change, and it's one that would be challenging for anyone. And the people around her were just not being very helpful at all, and she was feeling the weight of this on her shoulders. She felt overwhelmed by the enormity of the change and with everything that she had to do, and was feeling that she couldn't cope with it. So when we spoke, I reminded her of how she had in the past handled equally difficult situations, and not only did she handle them, but she learned how to flourish in those new situations. And I reminded her that what she was feeling was natural, it was just a normal response, but that she had the tools, she had the knowledge and the skills to be able to handle it. All she needed in that moment was the reminder. So, yes, emotional intensity can be a challenge and it can lead to overwhelm. And you do have the ability to regulate and to control what you feel. For example, when I feel overwhelmed, perhaps with a negative emotion, the first thing I do is check in with myself to see, is this mine? Or is this something I picked up from somebody else? It's a very important distinction. But it's most important as you learn how to deal with overstimulation and emotional intensity, I think, to be around people who support you 100%. Not to shame you for what you feel. I can't emphasize enough the importance of connecting with other HSPs. And we've proved this over and over again, that when HSPs come together to support each other, it's an amazing thing that you can really learn how to thrive. And remember that you do learn how to thrive by understanding your trait, by mastering your energy and the energy around you, by connecting and receiving the support that you need, and knowing that you don't have to go through this alone. You don't have to figure everything out alone. And so one of the things I wanted to let you know is that I just created a free membership community within my website, where you will find other helpful resources, and you'll be able to connect with other like-minded people and highly sensitive people. If you'd like to check that out and to join this free community, just go to my website, which is lindabins.com, and click on the member login at the top right of the screen, and just set up an account, and you'll be able to join my Harmony Inside and Out community. So thank you very much for watching. Next week, we will be talking about high sensitivity and empathy. This is something that's often confusing for people. So I hope you will tune in, or be sure to catch the recording. And remember, you can reach out to me at any time if you want to have a conversation about what high sensitivity means for you. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.